Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 56th episode of Uchuu Kyoudai, or Space Brothers. And last episode, we finished off our hiking finally. Our team didn't do super well because of obviously the delays and stuff that we had. But we do have a new task to build a thing, and we're given like an engineer, supervisor, supporter, whatever they call it, to help with that. However, we didn't exactly get the pick of the litter there. We kind of got what was ever left over, and he does not seem to be all that great. Not very motivated, not very pleasant to be around just in general. So not a very good start, but hopefully our team can persevere, ganbatte, as the Japanese say. So let's just get into it. 3, 2, 1, play. Comeback competition, yeah. Advisor, yeah, that's what the subs called it. Yeah, this is, thank you for reminding me about all that. Eco. Not exactly an ideal employee, but clearly friends with Vincent. And yeah, the opening that we got new last episode. Probably should have Apple on a leash. Might lose him otherwise. Promise to drink. The most important of all yakusoku. The years are not always kind to everyone. You say so. Is that the name of a drink, really? And I guess we're in Texas, so who knows? Okay, so they're coming back soon. Cool. Yeah, can't be sober for too long. That's just asking for trouble. Shots fired. Well, that's a big deal. Hopefully it goes well. Yeah, it's kind of sucky. So I wonder if Pico was a little bit better before the Brian thing. I wonder if that's what got him to be like this. Sarika. Are you a little bit excited there, Mutsa? Mutsa, just be honest about how you feel. Whenever somebody tries to do that, it usually does not go well. Fiction. Yeah, we need you, Mutsa. Gotta help us. Can never go wrong with plastic. Sneaking on in, trying to get some hints. Yeah, others are actually getting help, unlike us. Yeah, this is Pico, it's what he does. Surprised Pico still has a job, honestly. Well, tell us something we don't know. Kenji. Well, it's an American dollar bill right there. Don't break it. Very important. Is that based on how well they performed in the hiking? Yeah. It figures that that would come into play. You know, it's so weird seeing anime characters talk about, you know, my country's currency. Yeah, you're as big a help as always. I know. Hopefully we'll be able to do something to kind of inspire him to start caring again. Yeah, I know, right? It's like a very minor difference between switch on and switch off. Denver. Okay. Yeah, I probably wouldn't trust him with anything important at this point. Yeah, and it didn't work out, so it's gotta have an effect on a person. I'm not sure there's anything we can really say to him to make him feel any better about all that. Well, that's helpful. Good job, Sarika. Yeah. Well, that's great because the internet could help you out a lot. Just like go to Google, how to build this thing. Well, blueprint's not necessarily enough. That's why people go to school to learn, engineering stuff. Ryan. You can't promise anything. And that's probably what the title referred to, the drink promise. But that's kind of raising a death flag, so. I don't want to watch this. Could you just like go away, Pico, so we can work? You're not gonna help, so there's not really any point in you being in the room. That's certainly not good. Yeah, I bet that's not so easy. Yeah. America's got a lot of that, if nothing else. Forgot about that. Yeah. uh, poor Lori. A mistake. Well, that's a cool little robot, but still distracting. Yeah, who will program the navigation system? Can you? Is that true? Is that true? I didn't even take a basic computer class until my first year of high school. I want to know if that's true. I mean, could children even understand basic programming? Maybe like HTML, but that's a markup language, not really programming. Well, it's something. Still got a lot of work to do, though. Oh? We don't have a lot of money to work with. Yeah, that's a good point. Very smart. Yeah, I was about to say, hopefully can get that. You hearing that, Pico? Don't eat that. Don't eat that, Muta. Oh. Left-handed people ruining everything. Well, that sucks for them. That's all that matters, I guess. Apparently he can. Yeah, yeah, it doesn't quite end up happening. Okay, so now we finally have the full story. That is so sad. Well, that is that is really sad. No other real way to put it. And that's what we end off on. Beyond. Okay, that was the 56th episode of Space Brothers. And this episode, yeah, we were continuing working on our camp. I can't remember what they were called it, but they're working on the thingy. They're working on the thing they're building, and they found some blueprints on the internet to help because, of course, Pico's not being helpful at all. So they're doing their best on that front. Muta had a good idea to build two, so that any mistakes you make on the first one you can learn from and make a better product the second time. So that's a good idea, and that's something that definitely resonated with Pico. Although I'm getting kind of ahead of myself. So that was part of the episode was them working on that, but the other part was just getting insight into Pico, some of his backstory. So because the current Pico we got is not a very good person, unmotivated, lazy, drunk, just very unpleasant, just doing a lot of weird, gross things like shooting out the beans with his nose and into people's hair. Just that's not okay. Can't be doing that. And then Muta took it out and ate it later. Just, so gross. But anyway. The previous Pico was better, though. But what ended up happening... See, Pico, you know, was like a subcontractor with Denver and worked on the parachute system. Or at least, you know, used to. Or was going to, or whatever. But the thing is, they apparently weren't happy with how that one thing went. So they decided to go with a different company instead. And that resulted in the accident that killed Brian and his crew. So what I thought this was going to be, was, and I guess it was intentional for me to think that initially, was that Pico actually worked on the system that failed and caused Brian to die. But that actually wasn't the case. I guess it's more like kind of the opposite, where he feels guilty because he knows he could have saved Brian if only he was able to convince... if only he was able to convince that one guy that his system works. And, you know, if the previous thing didn't go the way it did, that would have... Because that's what really did it, right? That one crashing is what caused him to lose confidence, and Pico's way of doing it. And also, it was just cheaper and whatever to go with the other company. But Pico probably thinks that if he was able to convince him there, or did not, you know, have the issues that they had with the previous one, that he could have saved Brian. So that's why he feels guilty. So it wasn't quite what I thought initially, but still, the end result's pretty much the same, whereas Brian feels guilty. But Pico feels guilty about it. And that's what kind of killed his motivation. And he was definitely probably a better person before this incident, but Muta does seem to be capable of understanding Pico's perspective and stuff, so I think there's a chance of bringing Pico back with Muta, because like I said, what he said about building two of them and learning from mistakes and all that kind of thing did seem to resonate with Pico, so I think there may be some potential there to pull Pico out of it and get him to actually be motivated, like flip his switch to super on, you know. So that's a possibility. Hopefully that ends up happening, because we know there's no question about Pico's skill. It's just a matter of motivation. So, and that can be fixed in a short amount of time, whereas skill can't really be acquired that quickly. So, yeah, hopefully everything works out. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.